Hello everyone. So today we'll start with part molding modification commands. So with modification we will start with mirror command first. We have seen mirror command in earlier features also, but now we will see in detail. So for that I'll make one part here. I'll start with top plane, center rectangle, provide some values here so as to constrain the sketch. Then we will say it as extrude boss here. So after adding extrude boss of 60, we'll make two features more here. So we'll go with circle again, put up the value here as 50 diameter and then position the sketch. So for positioning I have taken this value as 30 mm, then the other value, horizontal value as 40. Now I'll say extrude boss and OK. And in the same feature boss extrude, again I will say sketch and make one cut here as 30 and features extrude cut. I'll take this cut value as 30 mm here and say it OK. Now we are having two features here, boss extrude and cut extrude. So we need to mirror these two features on the other side. That is, these features were on left side. I want to mirror them on right side. So as in 2D sketch mirror, we needed one line here. In 3D we will need one plane in between so as to mirror the feature. So we have to take a plane at midsection of these features. First we will see whether there is a default plane set or not. So we can see a front plane, top plane and right plane. So this right plane is coming in between the features. Suppose if I want to mirror this feature on the opposite side, then we can refer to this right plane here as it is coming in the mid side of the body. So we'll go with feature commands, and in feature we are going to say mirror. There is mirror command in sketcher also, but it is mirror entities, and now we are going for features mirror. There is no entity written here. That's why it is used for features only. So I'll select this mirror command, and now I have to show the mid plane against which I want to mirror this feature. For that, select the required plane. I'll say it right plane, and then select the required features. You don't need to select any secondary plane. You just need to select the features here. So I'll add these features as boss extrude 2, and suppose I say OK. The cut extrude is not been mirrored here. So if you want to add this cut extrude also for mirroring, then you have to go in edit feature, and in features you have to add cut extrude 1 also and say it OK. Now in mirror edit feature, you can see both features are being mirrored here. Then we will say OK, and the result is all the features at the left side are on right side now. We have made one sketch here on this space, and now we will make this extrude boss. Take value as 30 mm, and this time while extrusion we have to off this merge result option. So after putting off merge result, both these bodies are separated. Means the upper body is separate and the earlier body is separated now. Total there are two bodies, first and the second body. Say it OK. You can see here it is showing solid bodies as two, this first body and the second body. So if you put off the merge result option, it will convert these two features into two separate bodies. We will say mirror command. Now suppose I am selecting this right plane as a mirror plane and features to mirror as this feature. As it was not merged, it will show an error here, showing that a note is coming, only merging features may be patterned. So instead of selecting this boss extrude in features, I'll add this boss extrude in bodies to mirror, as it is a separate body now. So select this bodies to mirror and add this body here and say OK. So when the feature is merged, it will be selected in features to mirror, and if the feature is not merged, it will be selected as a bodies to mirror. Both the options are given in mirror command, features to mirror and bodies to mirror. This was mirror command. Now we will see linear pattern and circular pattern. So for linear pattern I have made this part and one extrusion on this part. So we will go for linear pattern here. Select the linear pattern. In direction 1 I will refer this edge as direction 1, and this edge has direction 2. Make sure that these arrows are showing the correct direction. You can flip these arrows so as to correct the directions. Then in features, we will show this feature command. Now we have to pattern this feature. For that, I'll refer distance 1, D1. This was distance 1. So I'll refer this distance as 27. And this will be the center to center distance. And items here I'll refer as 4. And in second direction, I will refer this distance as 28. And the number of instances here, we will take it as 6. And then you can say it OK. If you want to edit the feature again, select the feature and say edit feature. There is one more option given here, pattern seed only. Pattern seed only means it will only pattern the base part, the first part we have made. So I'll say pattern seed only. It will only take one column and one row. Suppose if I off this option, it will pattern again the same number of columns and number of rows as we have taken. The number of columns were 6 and number of rows were 4. Suppose if you want to skip any entity in between, so you can go for instances to skip. Select the instances. In this box, you have to select the instances. I'll select the last two of the first row and then say it OK. The pattern will be made, but that instances were skipped. If you want to add them again, just say it edit feature and clear the selection in instances column. And then again say it OK. Here the pattern has been completed. Now again we will say edit feature and make this pattern as pattern seed only. After making it pattern seed only, you can vary each instance distance individually. So for that I have to say instances to vary. And now in instances to vary, suppose I want to vary this instance. Now in instances to vary, you can differ each center to center distance here. For that I'll select this point and say modify instance. So in modify instance, it is showing that the spacing between these 2 points was 27 here and the horizontal spacing was 0. As both the points were in vertical alignment, that's why it is showing here 0. Suppose if I want to vary this distance 27, I'll take it as now 29 and also vary the horizontal distance here. It was 0, so I'll make it 5 mm. Now you can see the center to center distance between these two instances is being changed, as well as there is horizontal distance between these 2 points now. Earlier these 2 points were in vertical alignment, that's why the horizontal distance was showing 0, but I have changed this horizontal distance to 5 mm. So you can vary the instances here, the value of distances also. So in this way you can vary the center to center distance between each instance in X as well as Y direction, in horizontal as well as vertical direction. I'll say it OK. Now this instance is looking little bit offset from the other instances. So this was linear pattern command. Now we will see circular pattern command. For circular pattern command, in this rectangular block, I have made one circular cut here. We will take one more feature here so as to pattern the feature. For that, I will make one circle. Provide one diameter here as 10 mm. Add one relation as vertical and center to center distance as 25. Now we will say it extrude cut. Features and extrude cut. We'll make it 10 mm cut. After making the cut, now we have to pattern this cut around this circular cutout. So for that, go in linear pattern and in second number option you can see here circular pattern. Select the circular pattern. So in direction of circular pattern, we have to show the circular edge. In linear patterns, we have shown linear edges, and now in circular pattern, we are showing circular edge as a reference. After that, select the features. In features tab, you have to show the feature you want to pattern. So I'll select this cut extrude 2. And now put the number of instances you require here. You can put the instances in this column also, or you can go here and put up the values even here also. So I'll put the value here as 8. The number of instances coming here are 8, around 360 degrees. If I want to change the angle, I'll make it 180 degrees. So this is the total angle and equal spacing. it means the total number of entities will come in the angle shown here. That is 180 degrees. If you want to flip the side, you can flip the side here. Again, I'll say 360 degrees here. Now, if you want to skip the instances as in linear pattern, you can go for instances to skip. And in this box, you can select the instances you want to skip. So I'll skip this instance and then say it OK. So you can see all the patterns are being made except this instance. If you want to add this instance again, you just need to go in circular pattern, edit feature, and in instances to skip, you have to clear the selections. This instance will be added automatically, say it OK, and now the circular pattern is complete. Suppose if you don't have this circular cutout for the reference of edge, then there is another way of making the circular pattern. Now I want to make this cutout pattern. For that, I'll go in reference geometry and select axis option here. So for axis option, you need to select two planes which are intersecting each other at perpendicular orientation. For that, I'll select front plane and right plane. These two planes are intersecting each other at the center of the part. So automatically one axis will be made here that we can refer as the circular pattern reference. So for that, we'll start with reference and axis option. So in axis option, you have to select two planes option here. I'll select these two planes as front plane and right plane. Both the planes are intersecting each other at perpendicular orientation and one axis is being formed here in yellow color. I'll say it OK. Now you have one axis. So we'll go for circular pattern again. Select the circular pattern and in direction, you have to refer this axis. And in features, we will say this cutout so as to pattern this cutout. Put up the number of entities required and equal spacing as 360 degrees. You can change the number here. Total number of entities 4 and say it OK again. If you want to hide this axis, you can go in show and hide items here and hide the axis here. So this was circular pattern without reference of circular edge. Instead of edge, we have used axis option by using reference axis. So this was another way of making circular pattern here. So the next command we are going to see here is fillet command. For that I have made one part here. I have also made some features here. So we'll go for fillet command. There are total 4 types of fillet being given here. First one is constant size. Second is variable. Third is face fillet and fourth is full round fillet. So we will start with constant size fillet. For that we have to select one edge and say symmetric fillet here. So for reference we have taken edge and now we have to provide the value. So I'll take it as 15 mm. So the fillet coming around the edge is 15 radius. I'll say it OK. You can see here one fillet is been made by radius 15 on the edge. Now this radius size is constant on both the sides. Suppose if I want to vary the sizes on both the sides, then we can go for again fillet option, edit feature. And in constant size fillet, you can say asymmetric. Asymmetric means you can vary the distances on both the sides, horizontal and vertical. So for horizontal, I'll take it as 20 mm. So this side is showing as horizontal and this is vertical. And for vertical side, I'll take it as 10 mm. So in horizontal direction, it is 20 and in vertical direction, it is showing as 10 mm fillet. As we have selected asymmetric, both the distances can be varied. If you want to flip the direction, you can flip the directions also here and then say it OK. So this was non-symmetric fillet on both the sides by varying the distances. Now in this second number of fillet is variable size fillet. Select the variable size fillet and select the required edge. Now you can see after selecting the edge, two values will appear V1 and V2. So you can change the values here. I'll say it's symmetric only this time. And in symmetric, V1 was 20, so I'll make it 10. And V2 I'm taking it as 20. So on the linear edge, you can vary the sizes here. It has been connected tangentially, so one side is showing 20 mm radius and one side is showing 10 mm radius. You can say OK. We don't use this type of fillets very much. So this was variable size fillet. The next type will be face fillet. So for face fillet, in these two different boxes, you have to select two different faces which are adjacent to each other and having one common edge in between. So I'll select the condition, the first face and second face which are adjacent to each other. but we have to select both in different boxes. I have selected this in one box only. So if these two faces are selected in the same box, fillet will not appear here. I'll clear the selections and go for selection again. And in first box, I'll select the first face, and in second box, I'll select the second face. The common edge between two faces will appear as a fillet. So I'll put up the value error for the fillet. I'll take it as 10 mm and say it OK. So this was face fillet. You have to select two adjacent faces in two different boxes so as to make this fillet. You directly don't need to select the edge. You will select the faces here. Now we will see the last type of fillet, that is full round fillet. So for selections, I'll select the fillet command. Select the option full round fillet here. Now it is showing three face sets here. First, face set 1. Second, middle face or center face. Third, face set 2. So for the selections, I'll select this side face as face set 1 per selection. And then in mid face selection, I'll select this mid face here or center face here. Then in third selection of box, I'll select the side face, the other side face. And now you can see one fillet is being appeared here. The size of fillet, we don't have to put any numerical value here. The width of this rectangular shape will automatically become the diameter of this fillet. So I'll select and say it OK. So now the rectangular cross section is converted into the round fillet here. Again, we will provide the round fillet here also. For that, select the fillet command. Go with full round option. In face set 1, I'll select the side face. In center face selection, I'll select the center face. And in side face 2 selection, I'll select the other side face. Now, if fillet is been appeared, I'll say it OK. This was full round fillet option given here. Now, suppose I'm selecting this fillet command, and instead of edges, I'm selecting here the face. As soon as you select the face, all the corner edges, connected edges will be converted into fillets. For that, I'll change the value here. I'll say it as 5 mm. So you don't need to apply individual fillet selections. You just need to select the face, and all the edges of the face will be converted into fillets. I'll say it OK here. Now after fillet command, we will start with chamfer command. So for making chamfers, I have made one extrusion here. We'll go for chamfer. In fillet feature only, at downside the chamfer option is given. Select the chamfer option here. Now there are total 3 types of chamfer given in feature command. For that we will select angle distance first, then second is double distance, and third one is vertex. So we'll go for angle distance this time. Select the feature and click on the edge required on the chamfer. Now you have to put up the values here. Angle distance means first you have to put the distance value and then the angle value. So I'll put up the distance value here as 12 mm and angle as 30 degrees. Now at whatever direction this arrow is showing, distance will be applied in this direction, in arrow direction. And on the other side, on the opposite side of the arrow direction, angle will be applied. So here the arrow direction is showing on vertical side. So the distance is applied on vertical side and angle is being applied on horizontal side. Suppose if you want to flip the directions, you can flip the directions here directly. Now the distance is been applied on horizontal and angle is been applied on vertical side. Say it OK. The chamfer is been applied now. You can edit the feature here and see it is showing that the distance was applied on horizontal. So this was distance from this edge to the point, and the angle 30 degrees was applied on the vertical edge. This yellow line is presenting the angle from the horizontal. This is the angle and this one is the distance. So this was chamfer command. Say it OK. Now in second method, again we will go for chamfer command below the fillet tab only. Now the second method is given here as double distance method. That is, we have to put two distances here. Select the distance method. And now if option is coming here as symmetric, then you will only apply one distance that will be applied on both the sides equally. So I have selected here symmetric and I am applying the distance as 12 mm. Select the edge. Now the chamfer is coming of 12 by 12. Horizontal and vertical as 12 by 12. I'll say it OK. Now this chamfer is been applied by double distance method. There is no angle been given here. Only distances we have applied, that was symmetric distance of 12 mm. Now I will say edit feature here. And suppose I don't want symmetric distance on both the sides, that is horizontal and vertical. Then I'll go for asymmetric option here. And now you can apply different values so as to differ the distances here, D1 and D2. So for D1 I'll say 20 mm and D2 I'll add it here as 12 mm. D1 as 20 and D2 as 12. So on horizontal phase it is taking 12 mm distance and on vertical phase it is taking 20 mm distance. So the distances are differed here D1 and D2 by taking asymmetric or non-symmetric option here. I'll say it okay. The last method of chamfer is by applying chamfer on vertex point. Now here the vertex points means the conjunction of three edges, that is this point. Suppose I go for vertex option and select this point. So there are total three edges. So it will show D1, D2 and D3, three different distances. So I can put up the values here. I can differ the values. I'll say D1 as 20, D2 as 25 and D3 as 20 again. So here you can see D1 that is on vertical edge, D2 on horizontal edge, this front horizontal edge, and D3 on this side horizontal edge. So there are total three distances of different values on three edges. So this was vertex option. I'll say it okay. And this chamfer is been completed now. You need to select three distances D1, D2 and D3. So these were the options in chamfer command. We will continue with further features in next lecture. Till now, thank you.